ladies and gentlemen. don't start the podcast.
I didn't say nothing.
It's a big day today, and the reason it's a big day today, we already talked about the Fireball Challenge, which we have that coming. I could be wrong, but I think the big ticket gets the game ball in a 5-man scramble today.
Damn.
Tick, you want the ball?
I want the ball.
What's the ball?
Gentlemen, I want the ball. Might be spraying out there.
He's like
But I want the
Hasselbeck.
ball.
We want the ball and we're going to win.
He wants the ball.
Hopefully it turns out a little bit better for him than it did for Hasselbeck.
Look, here's the deal. Bottom line is, if the big ticket wants the game ball, you give ticket the game ball. You don't ask any
Do we have
questions.
enough Fireball for ticket as well?
I'm not drinking.
No, he's doing it. Jesus.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Cutsy
it's
has a thing where
unbelievable.
Different video.
Cutsy shows up to the tee box and he has no idea what we're filming, what video
No,
we're
that's
doing.
not true.
Okay, he doesn't show up. He
Definitely
doesn't show up to
true.
the.
100% true.
He doesn't show up to the tee box. He shows up to life
Yeah,
having no
correct.
idea what's going on.
Yeah, but every tee box he shows up to, he goes, "So what video are we doing?"
Yeah.
I mean, you do it every single time. We had Lauren Coughlin, LPGA pro, standing right there. What video? Are we filming the 3-minute scramble?
Yeah, but we could be going for dinner. Be like, what dinner are we going to? What restaurant are we going to? We could be
I
watching
like
a movie.
to live
Be like, what
life on
movie?
the surprise side.
What movie are we
There you
watching?
Yeah.
He doesn't know where we're staying. He doesn't know
Well,
where we're
in
going.
What game are we betting on? We're
To my
betting the
defense,
second
we've
half.
stayed in like 15 places in a week.
and they know every single one of them.
I don't
when
know
they're coming.
how. Bob said the one day it's in the group chat. I go through the group chat. There's nothing written down.
When you're sitting around us in the living room, you're there, but you're not there.
No, that's not fair.
You're on your
Sometimes.
Your phone.
Cutsy, when you went into the group chat, I was recording it on my story. What was the line that you read? That
Perez did a voice note. I think I farted. False alarm.
Yeah.
Something else might have come.
I didn't
That's
do
what
that.
I
Last
got in the
part's
group
not
chat.
true.
I don't know if there's
Last
a separate
part's
group
fake.
chat that's given the input of where we're playing. I am a little clueless sometimes. I will admit that. I'm not denying that. But I know a lot of the time what we're doing for the videos.
I'll tell you this though, that hair has never looked better, man. It
looks
is,
like plywood right now.
bro.
Is that bad?
No, it's just like, it's like hard. It looks.
Yeah, did you gel it or did you put water in it?
I just showered and threw the visor on after the shower.
Tip it down for the camera.
Look like Sonic.
Tip it down for the camera. Looks like
Sonic. You look like Sonic the Hedgehog right now.
That's
probably a good thing.
That's
Yeah,
a
it's a
dangerous
good thing,
play
too.
going with the
Wow.
no. You've been doing a lot of no hat plays.
Yeah,
Strip jet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in
I don't
beats
like.
to the sound
I
of
like
his
the
own
hats.
drum.
I don't like the hats. Not the style of the hats.
Yeah.
The hats, especially when you get when I have a haircut, the hats just look massive on you.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So I
when you
like to-
tighten the hat.
And also, I don't. But the big like the brim, like
Oh,
the
the
brim,
brim.
the whole thing. Also, I don't like having the Patrick Reed forehead tan. Like when you take off your hat and then half of it's white.
You know
and
who
half
has
of
that?
it's
Is
dark.
Max Homa. His forehead is like a different color than the rest of his face.
You
Well,
can
a
see
lot
that-
of golfers
yeah,
get
you can
that.
see that with a lot of pros.
Yeah, it's. I noticed it the other day. I was like, holy hell! You just realize how often he's in the sun wearing a hat.
Perez, why don't you go ahead and tell the folks this beautiful location that we're
Yeah, it's
here at
gorgeous.
today at the Swink Lodge.
We're outside the Swink Lodge at Independence Golf Club. Very kind of them to have us here last night, and we're gonna play a little golf out here. We're down in Midlothian, Virginia, just south of the James River in Richmond.
I feel like we know the entire country.
Yeah. So this is as far as public golf goes in the city of Richmond. This is the cream of the crop.
Isn't this the home of the Richmond Spiders?
Yeah, their facility is right now.
Yeah, I was.
Wow.
I came out on the chip and surface here last night, and you look out, and inside their house, there's just like a big neon spider
Yeah,
in their house. Perez loves his Richmond Spiders, man.
Roll Spide.
By the way, I feel like it's been we've all agreed probably the number one trip we've had has been so much fun. We
amazing.
have been here for 2 months.
I
Yeah,
feel
we
like
have.
I'm a native of Virginia now.
It's
I don't know
crazy.
what day it is.
We have been here for so.
And not only that, we've toured the entire state pretty much.
Yeah.
yeah,
We've been everywhere.
yeah. I mean, Perez is really
Rolling
he's
it
showing
out.
us- even tickets that before we started that Mexican restaurant that we went to the first night. I can't begin to tell you how long ago that seems
It's 5
like.
months ago, Bob. It was a long fucking time ago.
Remember looking down at Perez's plate and just seeing all the they didn't even mess around with any toppings.
It was
on
a
the taco.
block of chorizo.
Dude, it was just a plate full.
An
You put a little
entire
onion, you put a
block.
little cilantro on there, but yeah,
I,
mean,
didn't
it's-
see any onion, man.
It was
I
just-
just
oh, yeah,
saw-
no,
I didn't see any onion, cilantro, nothing but a mountain of chorizo on top of a tortilla.
I love chorizo like more than most things in my life.
Yeah, that's your. I would say I would take a guess from what I've seen. Your top 5 foods, in no particular order. We all know pizza would be one, but no
Chicken
particular order.
nuggets.
I would say any type of fried chicken, like
Chicken
chicken tenders.
tenders, yeah.
I would say pizza. I would say chorizo.
Tacos.
Well, that would be the
chorizo tacos.
yeah, that would be the tacos.
Burgers.
No, I wouldn't say burgers.
Peanuts.
Peanuts.
Peanuts. He loves peanuts.
Dairy Queen.
Yeah, that's not fair. That's not fair.
Well, we all love Dairy Queen.
You know what's so funny? Speaking of Dairy Queen, Perez was talking about when we went to his old work yesterday, which was so fucking funny to see, and we talked about it on the last pod. But Perez told me that when he used to go on his lunch breaks, he would go and he would get lunch, and then there was a Dairy Queen right next to the spot, that he would eat lunch at.
Not every time. I mean,
So he would come back to the office with a blizzard in his hand and just be sitting at his cubicle.
Imagine him walking back to the cubicle.
yeah.
Just do the blizzard test. Make sure there's no remnants spilling out.
Yeah, sometimes you just get a little sweet tooth.
That's terrific.
Sometimes you get a little sweet.
That's what they're supposed to do before they give it to you, by the way. They're supposed to turn it upside down to show that there's no way it's
Let me tell you
flopping
something,
out.
though, man. Blizzards are undefeated. I would take blizzards a lot of time over like an ice cream place. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but there's something special about a cone of ice cream.
Dipped cone?
Yeah, I love that.
You know what they have now,
dip
Bob?
cone?
No, a
I feel
cone.
like you
just,
are just a regular.
yeah,
don't like the
just
dip
give me
cone?
a flavor
Yeah.
and in a cone, and then when you get to the bottom of the cone, you got a little ice cream still stuck in there. Yeah, that's
You
where
know
the
what they have
magic
now? They
happens.
have a churro flavored dip.
Oh, fuck.
That sounds pretty fucking
Yeah.
An
So-
ice cream.
Churros might be in my top 5.
Oh,
Yeah,
churro.
churro.
Oh, churro. Oh,
Churros.
yeah.
You don't like churros?
No,
You know,
they
the
said
only thing with ice cream-
chorizo.
Churro.
I went to when I was in Jupiter. I went and I got a cone by myself. It was one of the saddest 15 minutes of my life, dude. Like if you're gonna do ice cream, like you gotta go with somebody
Was it
else.
like a mom and pop shop?
Yeah, dude, it was so sad. It was
You know, I
disgusting.
kind of
And
disagree.
like
dude.
I didn't want to see anybody. Like it was so tough.
But
Like,
how good was that cone?
It was great.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the
there you go,
reason I
dude.
went. But like just to be sitting there eating the cone by myself.
Oh, you were inside.
Yeah, it was tough, dude.
That's
it was
crazy.
really, it was so
That's crazy.
tough.
With every lick.
Did you like just
feel a
tell
little
your
bit
parents
worse.
like, "Hey, I'm gonna run out and get a cone"?
Yeah, yeah. Like I was just craving ice cream, and all they had was like the Skinny Cow ice cream sandwiches.
Oh,
and like
same, dude.
I could
No, that
no,
doesn't
never is.
You know what I got
That
into this
skinny
week?
stuff is-
We got into the Chipwich this week.
Chipwich is
Yeah,
by
and
the
it
way.
banged,
Yeah,
dude.
maybe the most
The
underrated.
Oreo
thing
sandwich
in
is
the
good
game.
too.
Ice cream
It
sandwiches,
is.
but the Chipwich, you
man,
get that
the Chipwich.
those chips, chocolate chips on it. That shit banged, dude.
So funny.
Pop,
Chet goes, I'm watching what I mean. He's just eating salads. And then he comes into the van. He's got this ginormous Chipwich sandwich. I'm like, talk about an oxymoron.
I caved. You know how hard it is to just sit there and eat salads while people
well,
are
dude,
eating.
you could have a burger from time to time. You do
No,
a
no,
Cobb
no.
salad. Your farts stink like egg. And then you come into the fucking van with a Chipwich. That was cracking up.
This wasn't the reaction at the time. I'll tell you that.
No, it was
At the time, it was wow, what a smart play, the Chipwich. Oh, what a play from the Jet.
I'm not,
Wow.
I'm not
That's
shitting
true.
on the Chipwich. I think it's
You're
a great
shitting on
play.
me.
I'm saying it's just so
Sure
funny
is.
because you just been eating salads.
Yeah.
And then you come in with a ginormous Chipwich.
Yeah, it's not a bad play.
It's kind of like when I said I was watching what I was eating. I ordered a salad at where were we at Chili's, and then I went and got a bag of candy afterwards.
Do you know how many times
You gotta
I've
pick
said
your poison.
how many fucking times I can only speak for myself, but you're like, all right, this is it. Like we're eating healthy, and the next day you got just candy in front of you.
Yo, The amount.
My bad thing is canned. I love canned.
Yeah, I'd be so curious to see. I'd be so curious to see the amount of calories that are consumed on one of these trips.
Oh, it would be tough.
It's crazy.
The funniest person out of all of us is Ticket, because he's like, last night he's like, it's taking all of my willpower to not go back for another piece of pizza, and I look over 10 minutes later, he's just sitting there with the pepperoni.
To be honest, we always talk.
Not a lot of willpower there, my friend.
We always talk about how much like I eat, but the bottom line is the amount that Ticket puts down. Like, Ticket went from the time that Perez returned with that pizza, the Celtics game started. It was midway through the third quarter, and I looked over at Ticket, and he's still just devouring. And the thing is, too,
they call him.
We need a food sponsor.
They call him.
Way. We really do.
They call him the par
food.
3 pizza popper.
the thing is, too, while Ticket's eating the pizza, he's so pissed at himself.
Every bite he looks more angry.
Yeah, he makes a point to tell us.
Pepperoni.
Yeah, makes a point to tell us how much he doesn't want to be doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat this slice, and he just goes.
And then
I know,
we kind
I get it.
I need you to be on board with the fact that I'm not happy with what's taking place.
Oh no, I get it.
You need to be on the journey with me.
Where I just
need you.
Where I just say I don't want to do it and I do it. Yeah, no, I mean that dialogue's happening up here. Trust me.
Ticket. What did you say at lunch yesterday that Perez
This got
said?
so blown out of proportion. I said that it had a hint of Chuck E. Cheese.
No, I wasn't going there. I wasn't going there. I wasn't.
You're going there now.
But now I'm going there now. I'm going there now. I was not. I swear to you, I was not
thought
going
you
there.
were.
Because I would not have had to ask you what you said, because I remembered that. Perez comes back with 6 pies, and he's like, "Guys, this is Richmond's best pizza." Like, Perez was so happy about bringing us that pizza. He's like, "This is really a big moment."
It's not my opinion. That's just like local magazine voting.
Yeah,
I was
like,
happy that was the place that was on the way.
It's like, this is the best pizza in Richmond, like, and whatnot. And I thought it was good. I was like, yeah, it's good. And then takes a bite, and he just kind of looks. He goes, yeah, he goes, it's not bad. It's got a hint of Chuck E. Cheese to it, but
Yeah, in the best possible way. It's like with all due respect, fuck you and your family. You know what I mean? It's like,
You have a hint of a serial killer look, but in the best possible way.
That's right. Everything's
I've gotten that a few times.
I actually was going to use you the example that I omitted.
I get that all the time.
But what did Perez say when you said, like, we gotta lose weight or something like that, and then Perez was like, it's not gonna happen.
I said that.
Oh,
I don't remember what I said. Something about like where it was something exactly like
couple
that.
pods ago, you were like, "Yeah, man, I just really got to start eating more salads. I got to lose weight." And it's like, I've just gotten too big. I'm the biggest I've ever been. I got to lose weight. And Perez was like, "It's unlikely."
We're fucking, dude. We're on the double diamond slopes right now. Just a free fall down to fatness.
When you're ordering triple stack Dave's,
Yeah,
ain't no
dude, it's
weight
just-
loss on its
We're
way.
we're not doing a single thing that would lead you to believe.
Never get over that. Was the craziest. I can't believe that.
Oh,
God. It's so good. The whole trip we've just talked about how fat we are.
Yeah, well,
That's kind of what we do. It's kind of what we do.
We're not even a golf show. We're an eating show.
Correct.
Dude, we eat and sometimes play golf.
Correct.
Is what we do.
Man.
Yeah, Bob does sports.
that
We
being said, we've gotten
travel on, eat, and play a little golf.
We've gotten a lot of golf videos in on this.
Oh,
trip.
Because we've been here 2 months. Of course, we've had nothing else to do. Of course, we've gotten videos in. We're stacked. This is the most stacked that we've ever been. And a stacked Arsenal's a very happy Jet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a happy everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
Bob, you're happy about it too.
Oh, I'm probably the most happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we interrupt this podcast to let you know that the Bob Does Sports Boys have partnered with the fine folks over at DraftKings. From tee to green, join all the golf action on the DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers will receive an odds boost to add plus 1,000 to any pre-tournament wager up to $10 on any golfer to win, which you cannot go wrong with. For example, if you're a new customer and see a golfer to win the tournament at plus 1,000 odds, DraftKings will boost that golfer to plus 2,000 odds for your shot at a bigger payout, and everybody loves a bigger payout. Download the DraftKings Sports app and use code BDSPOD and boost your odds during this weekend's tournament. That's code BDSPOD only on DraftKings Sportsbook.
The best jet is a drunk jet.
For sure.
Happens very rarely. It's
Yeah.
like a lunar eclipse.
Yeah,
Well, it happens.
It don't come often,
It's
but
gonna
boy,
happen.
when
Nobody's
it
watching
do.
when it happens.
It might
let me tell
happen
you.
tonight. Are we going having a little party tonight? Is that what I heard?
Wow, yeah,
Something like that?
Get a little banged up.
We'll be at
Yeah.
Keswick Hall.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
by. Do you think we're going to Keswick?
Yes, that's what I've been told.
No, we're not.
We're not going to Keswick. First of all, it's Keswick, and you keep calling it Keswick. Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes. Well, it's incorrect.
It's correct that you're saying it incorrectly. Yes.
And we're not going to Keswick.
No,
Where are we going?
What in the
we're
world?
we're
man?
checking into a
You live
hotel. Which technically is a hotel, but we're checking into a hotel. And by the way, as much as it would be great to go out tonight, I'd like to go out tonight. Who knows where that fireball challenge
Sure.
is going to lead us.
Good point. Good
I'd like to go out tonight, but you remember that last one. By the time we got...
Am I going to have to drive you guys back? Everybody, whether they say it or not, especially like guys like our age, they're all like backseat drive. They're all just going to look at you funny when you drive. It's like, I just let me drive.
This
Focus
guy's
on the.
so in his head. It's unbelievable.
I'm in my
You
head.
really are.
Yeah,
you
that's
really are.
crazy.
Yeah.
I like to drive by myself, bump some music. I don't like, how about this? I don't like other people. So I don't like them in the car.
That's fair.
Whoa.
No, we know.
That's
we
not,
know that.
that's not a
Whoa.
surprise.
I don't like them in the car. I don't like them in
Whoa,
the
whoa,
house.
cut clip, cut
I don't.
clip.
I like them on the course.
You know what was a great moment
you don't.
I hate 'em
this
on the
week was when we told, because Jet always busts our buddy Showtime's balls for how slow he plays. Telling Jet in the car how slow he plays and scrambles
He was not
a great,
thrilled to hear
Yeah,
it.
because he had some soul searching to do.
So yeah, I mean,
You really
here's the
do.
thing:
You
has that
can't
been
hit the
has that
ball.
been going on for a long
Quietly,
time?
yes.
Or
Yeah.
So why did you guys not say something? to
because
me?
we
We're
wanted you
scared
to
of
have
you,
your
Jet.
what?
We're scared of you.
that too.
By the way,
Yeah.
then we're in a great spot. But besides that, because normally when we play, I play very fast.
if we're just playing for fun, you play lightning fast.
Right. So when the camera's out there, it's still a little different for me.
That's why we haven't said anything.
Okay, but
or at
you.
least that's
but,
why I
But
haven't.
you should have said something to me, and I tell you, I'm
was
never going to be
that?
slow again when we play.
What is this? How did that even start playing? Sorry, Jet.
You won't. But you know the other thing is that if you make now that you told me that, I will never play slow in a
No,
video
I believe
again.
that. Yeah, I
I wish you guys said it sooner, but it is what it is.
It's different. Like in the camera and stuff like that, it's different.
But-
But like you'll stand over your ball, you'll look at us, you'll crack a joke, and then you'll get over,
And then they'll start doing this where he's
yeah, and then he goes get shallow.
But that-
get shallow, and then he takes 4 practice swings,
Yeah,
and then he
Cutsy
goes
says
up.
something.
Then Cutsy says something. Cutsy will like burp, and then he backs off, and he goes like this to Cutsy, and then he stands over his ball. One more joke, and then goes.
Well, I guess I also want to hit good. Like I take more time with the ball because I actually want to hit good shots in the videos. Not that that makes a difference, but yeah, I try to get some. I try to get some lines in. But yeah, you'll never see me. I might never talk again in a video. You're like, I'm just gonna be flying from here on
Tough
out.
scene.
But
didn't
it
need
also
it.
it bothers me because I do rag. I hate when people play slow.
that's why that I'm
So,
busting your balls with it. If
I-
you didn't do that, it'd be a different
no, but I
conversation.
wouldn't. But the fact that I'm being called a slow player is one of the hardest things I've ever had to.
I
hear in my
know,
life.
I know.
Patrick Jetley.
What does that mean, Joe?
I know
I knew
where
where
he's
he's
going.
going. Patrick
Catley
I got it. It was. It wasn't a bad joke. It was the way you jiggled. It
Give me a second.
wasn't a bad.
It's still early in the morning here for us to run a pod, so we're
gently. It's not.
it's not bad. I got absolute blanks there. That's fine.
Joey
laughed at my own
Blocky
joke.
cuts.
Cutsy the entire trip. It's one of the funniest Cutsies he has been on the entire week. Cutsy has been on one, dude.
I don't know. Have I? I
He's
don't
been
know
like
if I
very
have.
Yeah, you
giggly or
No,
like
yeah.
he's just been out of control.
Yeah. Sometimes Cutsy acts as if he's on something when he's not. Though he gets in that zone,
Yeah.
and you question. You're like, "Are you on something right now?" He's just like, "No," and then he's like, "On what? What? Where? Why?"
Yeah, it's so impossible that would be the case. Last night I was, but not tonight.
When Jet snapped on Cutsy in the car yesterday driving home, it was one of the funniest things. He just
wasn't
turns
that bad.
he just turns to him and he goes, Joe, he goes, you live to say where, what, why, when. Figure it out.
We were
I had just
driving.
woken up from a
And
nap.
us three are having conversation. And every time anybody said something, Cutsy would be like, "What? Who? Where? Why? Where are we going? What are we doing? Keswick? Who? Why?" So I just turned to him and I was like, "Dude, your whole life is just saying what, where, when, and why." And I was pissed. I was
The
tired.
best when Cutsy wakes up from a nap, like in the car, he falls asleep right away. Like you could be having a conversation with him, and then you look over and he's just out like a light.
I think I've driven very well on this trip, by the way. I've driven across the fucking state of Virginia.
You doze out.
It's happened a couple times in California.
It did happen 0 times.
Did it happen? Did it happen on the drive?
No, it has not happened once.
Did it did not happen on this trip?
No.
No, he wasn't dozing, but he was checking his phone, and we were drifting in just different lanes.
It was one time in a matter of 7 hours of driving. I thought I've been very good on this
I
trip.
do too. The driving has been good.
The driving has been good.
Me and Perez looked up in the rearview mirror and we saw Cutsy driving behind us, and the car was just going.
That's ridiculous. By the way, there was a point yesterday where Perez was in the left lane and merged through 3 lanes of traffic to take an exit.
I remember that.
And I felt like Chris Farley trying to go through in Tommy Boy off the fucking exit.
You had more room to do it than I did.
That was
No, but I wasn't expecting it. I looked and it said like literally like Keswick exit. Keswick, sorry. Keswick. And I was like, I think this is probably where I have to go. But I'm like, I think Perez probably knows where he's going.
Well, once you saw me move, you just immediately moved.
Well, yes, but it just came at me fast.
It was out of nowhere.
It was out of nowhere.
But I made it happen.
fair.
For somebody
And he was
saying that
further
I'm
back.
drifting, I mean,
surely it
that
was easier for him to do
fucking
than
4
me.
lanes. No one mentions that though.
There it
They
is.
mentioned the slight
That's what I'm
drift
getting
into the
That's what I'm getting
but never mind the fucking 4 lanes over. You know, like come on, guys. It's always like magnified when it's me. Although I do agree, there's times I agree. It's merited sometimes, but this trip, for the most part, Tick and Jet have to admit.
I admit he's
I've been a good
solid
driver
time.
on this trip.
Your driver's good. You just have no idea where you're going.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, like literally, like
I have to follow you.
Yeah, but like in any of this trip at any time, you don't know where we're going later. You think we're going to hit balls right here. You live in a. It must be awesome. You just live in like just like the next step you take.
I have good intentions. Like this morning, I went to
Sure.
and
No
I
one's
brought
questioning your
I brought Bob and my clubs into the Swink Lodge, thinking that okay, we're gonna go right behind us to the driving range after. And Prez like, why are the clubs inside? I'm like, oh, I brought them for the golf after. He's like, we have to go all the way back, so you're just gonna have to bring the clubs back. And I was like, fuck.
You did save us yesterday when we got here and we had no idea where we're going, and you jumped out of the car.
Yes.
And you ran to find somebody. We're like, we're totally lost, and you just rolled up in a golf cart with another guy, like waving at us as if you knew the guy, and then you just took us all the way down.
I also
here.
had good intentions when Tick and we went to go get Fireball, and I got the wrong one.
You sure did.
So it's like,
you got
you know,
convenience stores. Fireball cinnamon instead of Fireball cinnamon whiskey.
that's an honest mistake, though. I think no.
You can't buy liquor at a convenience store.
You know,
Well, not here in Virginia. It wasn't honest. We were trying to help out.
No, yeah.
It was an honest mistake, and that's what I'm saying is that
It's a
I
little chilly today.
generally have good
You
intentions.
do have good intentions.
But they say what is hell is paved, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
That's right. That's what they say.
So
yeah,
then you walk in with the biggest bucket of Fireball.
Yeah.
When you
party
walked
bucket.
out of that convenience store,
Yeah.
they
Bucket
must have
of
thought
chicken.
this guy is an
just came
alcoholic.
rolling
This
in.
guy's got problems.
Yeah,
man.
it was like
and you know
3
what?
doors
They'd be
down.
right. They'd absolutely be right.
Yeah, I
They
do.
would've nailed it.
The ABC store was like 3 doors down from the Italian spot that I got the pizza. So I park outside of the Italian
AKA
spot,
Chuck E.
just
Cheese.
in the fire lane. I go in, get 5 pizzas, 2 salads. I like waddle out to the fucking car, I put it in, then I just walk over to the ABC store. Like my car's sitting out there for 10 minutes. I probably, if anyone saw that entire thing where I'm walking out with a bunch of food, and then I go into an ABC store and I walk out with a Fireball party pack.
We need cameras on all
This
times.
guy's got a big night coming. This guy's got a big. It's probably like it's fucking Tuesday. What's this guy up to?
Bob's
asked for
getting
the
ice
30
cream
pack.
alone, and you're getting 5 pizzas and
Yeah,
30
that's right.
whiskey.
Man,
Yeah.
that ice cream thing's so tough.
Not a person in sight.
You know, well, same with Joe is like when Joe wakes up from one of his naps, like for me, like I wake up from a nap and it takes me a little bit to like come to. Cutsy can wake up from a nap and he gets right back into the conversation. Like he enters right back into the conversation as if he wasn't gone for the past 25 minutes. You know, like there's no like you don't have to acknowledge that he just woke up. Like you know what I mean?
100%,
Like
dude. we returned to playing highlights last night. Like we always used to watch like NFL highlights. I had a Calvin Johnson highlight on. and it's top 50 Calvin Johnson catches. And I look over at him on the couch because he's sleeping on the couch, and he's totally out. And then I'm watching him, and I see him bump back to reality and just goes, he just bumps back and goes, "Oh, what a catch!" That's me. He goes, "Did you see that catch?" I said, "Did you?" It was unreal.
That's
I got
Probably-
issues, man. I got some serious issues. This has been an awakening podcast for me, man. It's really been tough.
Great title.
Almost as tough as that
The
blizzard
Awakening with
fucking
Joey
turned.
Coldcuts.
Oh God, it's like an intervention here.
We love you.
Yeah, I love
do.
you guys too. I will say this trip, we've always been close knit, but this trip has really been more laughs and more like we've been just on one the whole trip. I feel like we've never been tighter than after Virginia will do.
I
it.
agree with that.
This crew is just it's unstoppable right now. It feels dangerous. This is, to be honest, this is also one of the first. I mean, you'll probably disagree with this, but as long as we've
I
been
disagree.
there, this is one of the first trips where like I'm not like ready for it to end. Usually at the end, like we're pretty fucking tired. Like I could go another few days. Like I really could have. And
I cannot. Not in a bad way. No, I've had.
I said last
so
night,
much
he's like,
fun, like-
he's like, I'm
I just said
officially done with Virginia.
I'm ready to be home. I
He's
love
just ready to put a
Virginia.
camera down. He's ready to stop
I
being
know.
like
I
that.
just it's tired. Like it's a lot. But it's a blast. And again, like you said, this trip has been incredible, and everybody is super. Even for me, I've had less. It's
You
just
know-
been like everything's been going good.
Yeah,
like no
things are
problems with
great.
anything. Like
You know
it's
what's
been
really
so
tough
smooth.
is after a trip like this, when you go home and you're like, I'm so exhausted, and people are like, what'd you do? You're like, I was on a golf trip
Yeah.
for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
get
they're
that.
like,
I
oh,
get that a
tough
lot.
life.
Yeah.
You just went golfing with your boys
I know.
for a week.
Nobody's gonna feel
Meanwhile,
bad
I
for
was
us.
working away at a desk for the last fucking 5 days.
I will say being in FP's office yesterday, and it was a great time, and everybody was super nice, and it was incredible. It really
wake-up call?
It not a wake up call. It was like. It was more so like a reminder. It was like I remembered when I used to do that and how much I hated it and wanted to get out of there. And like it really made me like when we were walking back, I was like, holy shit! Like
Yo.
I'm so glad we do what we do.
Jet used to work on a customer service hotline.
Oh, my.
You talking about a bad draw, man? If
Yeah.
you call and you get
got
Jet,
this
that's
Jet.
a bad
Dude,
draw.
I made it
My
5
TV's
months.
not working. I don't fucking care.
I made
Did
it.
they get feedback
I
for
made it.
you? Like,
I made it 5 months. I actually did pretty solid. It wasn't like more so customer service as much as it was like sales, like orders and shit.
just buy the
So-
fucking product.
So I used to just hand people out. Like the second shit started getting bad, I'd be like, "Let me get you to my supervisor," and then I just hit any buttons on the thing and just send them off to whoever. And then so that was good. I made it 5 months. They actually gave me a bonus, and I quit the next day.
Do you know? I'll
checks out.
give you another fun fact. Is Cutsy used to work at a chips and fish and chips
Yeah, fish and
restaurant, and they
chips,
used
yeah.
to call him the Godfather.
The Codfather, yeah.
Godfather. That's fantastic. What was the place called?
It was called Cockney King's Fish and Chips. Home of Cockney's finest
Where was this?
fish and chips in Vancouver.
Oh, wow.
It's actually fire. If we go to Vancouver, I got to bring you guys there. They did Monday through Thursday, all you can eat fish and chips.
When you walk
it was
in
a
there-
fucking
That's not
nightmare.
When you
for
walk
us.
in, there's everybody
Don't
like,
take
the
us there.
Codfather's back. The
Please
Codfather's
don't
back.
take
Everybody
us
shut the
there.
fuck up. The Codfather's
I
back.
actually went back when I went to Vancouver the last time. I went back because I had to try it, and it's so good. But like it was like all these like people would just swarm, and I would be just serving, and it was like one of 3 jobs I was working. I was like working there. I was working in another restaurant that was like more fine dining, and I was working a warehouse.
Cutsy's a dog, man. How old were you?
Can you tell
I
them
was
why you
like-
were working 3 jobs?
Huh?
Can you tell them why that you were working?
Why?
Wasn't it to pay off gambling?
Oh
debt?
yeah, I gambled.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
You worked 3
Yeah,
jobs.
I didn't have a penny to my name. That summer, I think I worked like collectively like 12 hours a day. After like 2.5 months, I finally had like recouped all my
Classic
losses.
Cutsy, though, just to lose all your money though, and then just start working like 20 hours.
Yeah, I
a
would
day,
work the
just
warehouse from
pedal
like
the
8 to
metal.
3.
And once he pays off the
And then
gambling
I'd
debts,
go-
he quits all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Then gets into debt again. He goes, up.
No, I
need
went
all
to
3
Mexico
jobs
after
back.
that. Went on
I'll
a
be
trip
yours.
to Mexico.
Yeah, I'll be as
You're
long.
special, man. You're a special cat. You really are.
We do have to go to Cockney Kings though if we go back to
I would love to.
Vancouver.
We not going all you can eat day.
No,
we just
no, no.
simply cannot be trusted on all you can eat day.
It's just
Let's
think
go
that's-
on
start
it.
placing
That's the day to
bets.
go.
I understand that, but we just can't. Go.
Jake, you got to
Ben.
do the halibut. Halibut is.
I want to see the
sensational.
Codfather in action.
Oh
The
God!
Codfather's
I had that shit down to a T. I would just fire. I had my little section. I would just fire through.
How many years ago was this?
God, man, I don't even know. This would have been like 2010, maybe.
Oh, so if you walk in there now, people aren't going to
No,
drop
it's
their
all
forks
new
and be
people.
like, "Holy
Nobody
fucking
even
shit, the
knew who the
Codfather's
fuck I
here."
was.
Got it.
I got one even better for you. Perez used to work at Moe's Southwest Grill. You know when they go in?
Doing what?
Welcome to Moe's. He was on the line.
on the line, man.
Oh, you were a line cook?
Line, man.
Line cook, I believe, is a kind of a liberal use of what I was.
What were you doing?
See, just was the guy
I'd
that said,
say-
"Welcome to Moe's."
Say, welcome to Moe's. What can I get you? And they go, I have a Joey bag of donuts. And I go, would you like guac? And they go like, no. I'm like, cool. Because if you did, you should just get a home wrecker. You know, like, would you like a bowl or would you like a burrito? A burrito. And I'd use that, put it in the thing. I'd hold it down. We'd have that awkward like 7 seconds where I'm like steaming the burrito. I'm like, how's your day going? Oh, great. Fuck me. Great. Awesome. Good. Yeah, black or pinto beans, chicken steak or ground beef. Everything else from the hot table. No.
Oh God! I will say
that was me.
Bob, I will say the one thing we talked about it yesterday or the last pod, but
2 weeks.
seeing Perez's
2 weeks.
old work, it kind of
weeks.
really put everything in perspective. Like, this guy's a different guy.
Oh, with him?
Yeah.
Oh, because I just said that 4 minutes ago.
No, I'm saying Perez is just like the most misunderstood man in America.
You are.
I worked at a Papa John's, and I got fired from the Papa John's because I used to go and I used to buy scratch-off lottery tickets. And when I went to get the lottery tickets, I would call in a pizza under a restricted number. So I'd do *67, and I would call in the pizza, and then I would cancel the pizza. So after I would cancel it, I would know they already put it through the oven, so
You're
that I'd
sick.
come back in, and then you would be able to eat the pizza. But
Oh my God.
That's honestly brilliant, dude.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
yeah. So I'd
They
call.
learned quickly what Bob's favorite pizza
Damn.
toppings were.
I would do *67, and then I would call back after I knew it went through, and then I would cancel it, and then I would eat it. But then one time I went to go get the lottery tickets, and I went to call to cancel it, and I forgot to hit *67. So they saw my number come on, and the guy's just like, "Yeah, like Bob, like you gotta go, man. Like we just can't, we can't have it
Did they know that this had been happening?
for sure.
Oh,
Like it was a
fuck.
daily thing that pizzas kept like, dead serious. I did it.
And they didn't notice that every time a pizza was canceled, you just weren't there?
No, because then I would be back, and then it would sit there, and eventually they would just be like, "All right, just like eat the pizza."
Wasn't it your dad's friend, and he had to call your dad?
That was another. That was. This is tough. Yeah,
This is slowly transitioning
Yeah.
off of me and
It's a
into
great
Bob.
story, though.
it was another pizza. It was the local pizza shop, and I needed a job, and my dad was friends with the owner, so he's like, can you just like get him behind the cash register or something, and they're like, yeah, like we got you. And there's like a hardcore Italian guy, pretty rough around the edges, and I just couldn't figure out the cash register. Like I was there for like well into like a month or two, and I couldn't figure it out. Like I couldn't get it. So finally they called my dad. They didn't call me, and they were just like, look, like he's not cutting it. Like he just can't figure it out. Like he's got to go. Yeah, it's tough. Then I worked at a
What did
beach.
your dad say to you?
He just like he couldn't believe it. Like he couldn't believe that I couldn't figure out the cash register. Then I worked at a BP gas station, and my dad wanted to be the first customer for me.
Were you pumping gas?
Yeah. So I was pumping gas, so he pulls in and he goes in. I went to put in the nozzle. I couldn't get the nozzle out. I like clicked it into where like I couldn't get the nozzle out, so they had to come over and get help. My dad just in the car, like he just couldn't believe.
Yeah.
You really are
Couldn't
brilliantly
work a
dumb,
gas
man.
register?
Yeah.
And now you can't pump gas?
Yeah.
But he's our leader of Bobby Sports,
Yeah.
folks.
Where do you go from there, dude? Where do you go from there?
Stop. Yeah. Yeah.
Start cutting grass.
Can't cut it.
That didn't cut it.
Then I went to Cutco Knives.
Okay, you could sell.
I could sell
Yeah.
that. I was
Yeah. I'm sure
very.
the invoice was a little difficult once you made the sale.
I would
but-
make the sale. Damn. Damn. So tough.
Did I tell you the story of when my first job at the cedar yard?
No.
When I had to drive the forklift and I took the whole roof out. On the
How have we not heard this?
Come on.
How have we not
I
heard
thought I might have said it on the pod before. My first job, there's a cedar yard that it's called Curtis Lumber. It was my first ever job. And I got a job
That's
for
a
the
great
summer.
name.
And I started off just like I was in the yard, just like putting packages together, like for the cedar, like any the orders. And then finally they're like, okay, we need you to start driving the forklift. And I was like, all right. I was doing okay. And then going into the warehouse, like they had this barn almost where all the wood was stored. There was like a ramp that went down like this, right? So to go down it was fine because even if your forks were up, you would go down. But when you had to come back up, like in reverse, you had to go like this. So your forks, if they're too high, it would be a problem.
Your forks.
So anyways, I was rushing an order, and the forks were like this, and the roof would be like here, and I just revved it, and I went like this, and the whole part of the roof like this, just like all this fucking wood came flying off. Yeah, they got more wood. And so I had to
guarantee
go
you
in
that
on
was-
my week, and the boss was pissed.
I guarantee
his name
it
was
wasn't
Ron.
Cutsy's
I'll never
fault.
forget. And I went in.
There's no way it was Cutsy's fault.
way.
Oh, it was absolutely my fault.
There was defense.
It was absolutely my
Did you
fault. I
have
had to
an
go in the
excuse? Did you-
weekend,
did you
and I
have an
had to
excuse?
like help him like basically hammer back the roof. And then like 2 weeks later, I got fired pretty much. Well, I wasn't even a fire. Like I just stopped going, and they never called me again. So. That was kind of a mutual exit on both parties.
With no conversation.
I just never showed up, and they didn't even like call me to see where I was. And then I didn't show up again, and I was like, I guess I'm just never working here again.
You know-
I went and picked up my final check, and that was that.
You know what, boys? When push comes to shove, thank God for YouTube.
Oh,
Because
God.
who knows?
Well, I had a pretty successful career in hospitality. Perez had a good career. Perez had a good career.
What
You
about
wanna
me
go
and
back?
Jet?
I mean, I don't know what Jet was doing.
I was working with Bob.
Well, I'm saying before.
But if I didn't find-
I'm saying before all of this.
No, I
Obviously,
wasn't-
it's been life. I'm saying like we would have been okay. We wouldn't have been where we are
Can I
today.
say?
There's no question.
Can I say what Jet did? Jet worked for an offshore gambling site.
No.
He did the Twitter.
You get a
for an
paycheck and you
offshore-
go
that's
straight
right.
into
He
his
did
account.
overnight Twitter.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, no, I was.
The
Let me tell
fucking
you something.
graveyard shift.
I was grinding, dude. I was grinding hard at that shit. But the
God.
truth is, like, kind of always knew that something like this was going to happen. At least with my
Jet,
life.
we're having trouble with the roulette board. Would you be
Yeah,
able to
yeah,
go in there
yeah.
and make a couple adjustments on the roulette board?
Yeah. Can I get 500 more credit on my casino? That would be great. It was so started catching my stride in blackjack. Just need a little
Did
more.
you see the dice on table 7?
Yeah.
We're missing the
He was a pit boss.
Dude, it was social media. It wasn't
I
even.
will say this to Jet's credit. He always told me, like, I remember when I didn't really know him, when you were considering moving to LA from New York, you're like, dude, one day this is going to be so huge. And I was like, yeah, you got to come out here. It's going to be the biggest thing ever. But you always believed that, like, somehow it was going to work.
Well, yeah, I at least for myself, I knew it was going to work. I no, to be honest, if it wasn't with you guys, it would have been with somebody else. But I always believed in, like, once I saw what you guys were doing, and when I became a part of it, I knew we were going to end up at Independence Golf Course in front of the Swink Lodge 2 years later.
It's the next logical step for us.
By the way, this is a beautiful place.
Really, really nice.
Yeah, really nice. And again, big shout out to them for having us out here today. And fellas, we got a fireball challenge ahead. Ticket gets the game ball in the scramble that we're gonna have to do. 5-person scramble's gonna look forward to that. And just a big shout out. Perez setting the trip up, the state of Virginia for having us. It's been a wonderful, wonderful 6 months, and we look forward to seeing you next time. As far as I'm concerned, that's been another edition, the Bob Does Sports Podcast. Like, comment, subscribe. We will see you next time. Clap it up, 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 please, gentlemen. Thank you. Good job, boys.